Good morning. Grab your coffee. You know that moment when you're in a meeting and you can see exactly what you want to say, but you can't get it out of your head fast enough, or you can't find the words. So you grab a whiteboard marker and you sketch, or you grab the back of a notebook and you sketch it out. 3 boxes, a couple of arrows, maybe a label, and it makes perfect sense to you. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Then the meeting ends, and that sketch either stays on the whiteboard until somebody erases it, or you spend an hour in PowerPoint trying to make it look like something you would actually put in front of a stakeholder, and it still looks pretty lousy. I deal with this constantly. I have a framework I use with clients called the Capability Core, and I've been explaining it on whiteboards and in conversations for months. I've never had a polished visual for it, so today I'm going to change that. I'm going to take my actual hand sketch, I'm going to feed it into Claude Design, which is Anthropic's new visual design tool, and I'm going to see if I can turn it into something that I'd put into a client deck. Let's go. So for starters, here's my hand sketch. I'm going to start by going to Other because I'm not doing a prototype or a slide deck. I'm going to call this Capability Core, and we're going to go ahead and create it. Let's go ahead and add the picture, and then we'll give it a little bit of a prompt. Perfect. Attached is a hand-drawn sketch of a framework that I've developed called the Capability Core. Can you put this into a one-page document that I could use either as a slide or as a leave behind or a handout in various different client engagements? Okay, and let's put it to work. Now, if you'll notice, I haven't told it anything about my colors or my fonts or my branding, and that's kind of intentional. So, because we're going to switch to that after. Claude Design has the ability where you can set up like your design system, which again, I intentionally haven't done yet. This is Claude Design fresh out of the box. There is nothing here that I've done differently. I haven't done any tuning or any customizing to it whatsoever. All right, let's see how it did. For a first try, with no design guidance whatsoever and a handwritten sketch, this is pretty good. The tuning and personalization that AI needs at the team and company level before it can become truly useful. This is great. Okay, so it gave me some good things here. All right, let's do some things here. So I like the descriptive text. I would prefer to see these as boxes rather than paragraphs. Again, I kind of think visually. And if we're going to do them, I feel like there's a sequence to them. And so I wonder if it's maybe a left to right. So let's try that. Can you modify this to make the 3 pillars actual boxes? And then let's have them arranged left to right so there's a sequence to it, maybe even with arrows in between. Okay. While it's working on that, I'm going to actually get ready on the next bit of edits. I'm going to drop my logo in. I'm going to drop my color codes in. I'm going to drop in a template I have for framework documents. And can you update the look and feel of this? Keep the layout as is, but can you update the look and feel of this to match my overall brand? Attached is a template that you should use. Also attached is my logo, which should be in the top left probably. And also attached are the brand colors that I use. And then in addition to that, I use 2 different fonts. The title header type fonts I use is Montserrat, and the text font I use is Avenir Next. So let's send that. And it's sort of one of the things that I've noticed just as I've been playing around with Claude Design recently is unlike Claude or Claude Work, you can stack requests. Usually you can't provide another request until it's come back with a response. But in this one, you can kind of stack them and it sort of just keeps working through them. So what we can see here is it's restructuring for 3 pillar boxes. And now we've asked it to do all this other work. So let's see how it does. Okay. So we are in a much better shape here. All right. I don't like the title being multiple colors, and I don't like these boxes being multiple colors. So I'm going to use a feature in here called tweaks. I don't like the title being multiple colors, and I don't like the 3 boxes being different highlighted colors. I also think the footer is way too crowded, and the context discovery learning systems in the footer should be deleted. So by putting this in tweaks, what it's going to do is it's going to give me controls that I can sort of turn these things on or off, so I can kind of flip back and forth. So you'll see what this looks like in a moment here. Okay, so here's the tweaks panel. I can turn off and on the corner ribbons. I can decide what I like. The top bar color, I can have it be alternating, or I can have it be all navy, right? Or we can have it be all orange. And then the numbers, I can switch those between orange and navy. So it's given me some real easy tools to try and do some of this. So what I really want to point out is we went from this to this in just a few minutes. I went from a rough sketch on paper to a visual that I can put in front of a client now, or even drop it into a presentation. No designer, no PowerPoint wrestling, maybe 5-10 minutes of work. Two things I'd like you to take away from this. First, AI is getting genuinely useful for the visual communication gap that most of us in the world of product deal with every day. You can see something in your head, and now you can get it out into something polished without any bottlenecks. Second, your input still matters. The sketch, the refinement, knowing what you actually want to communicate, that's still the human work. The tool handles all the execution, but the thinking is still yours. So your assignment this week, take one framework, one concept, one idea that you've been explaining verbally or on whiteboards, sketch it out, feed it into Claude Design or any other visual AI tool, and see what comes back. You might be surprised how close it gets on that first try. If this was useful, subscribe to my channel down below. I do these videos every other Saturday. And if you want to go deeper on building AI into your team's workflow, not just your own, check out the links in the description. As always, break a pencil, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.